Lisa or Heidi, are you available to answer a question?
Yes.
So I have the various forum rules. I got 2 copies, and one says that both say that opening statements are 2 minutes, and then responses to questions for 1 minute, and then one says that closing statements are 2 minutes, and the other one says that it's 1 minute. So for closing statements, do they get 2 minutes or 1 minute?
2 minutes.
Okay, thank you.
Do you guys have that for the script too?
Yes.
Okay.
Lisa, can you say that again? 2 minutes or 1 minute for the closing statements?
2 minutes.
Okay. Thank you.
Welcome to the Candidate Forum put on by the League of Women Voters of Arlington Heights. My name is Maya Kasalovich, and I am from the League of Women Voters of Arlington Heights, Mount Prospect, and the Buffalo Grove area. I'm also a member of our Emerging Leaders program. Founded in 1920 out of the suffragette movement giving women the right to vote, the League of Women Voters is a nonpartisan organization that neither supports nor opposes candidates or parties from any office. The League's purpose is to promote political responsibility through the informed and active participation of citizens in the government. Providing this forum allows citizens to become better informed about the issues facing their community and to become better acquainted with the candidates running for office. We are happy to provide this service for the community. To send in questions for the candidates, please text 224-306-9521. I'll repeat, 224-306-9521, or email forum.lwvah@gmail.com. I'll repeat, forum.lwvah@gmail.com. All of the candidates were contacted by email or phone prior to today. The candidates have agreed to abide by the ground rules provided by the League of Women Voters. They are as follows. Candidates have flipped a coin to determine speaking order. The moderator will rotate this order during the forum for questions. Each candidate will have 2 minutes for their introduction. Next, each candidate will have 1 minute to answer questions. At the end, each candidate will have 2 minutes for closing. League members will act as timers. Candidates will be given a 30-second and 15-second warning, so we ask the candidates to quickly complete their thoughts before they see the stop card. Time limits will be enforced out of respect for all candidates. Questions will be provided by the audience. Each question will be answered by all candidates, so please, audience, only ask questions related to the office being sought. Again, we only use questions which can be answered by all candidates. Please send questions to 224-306-9521 or email forum.lwvah@gmail.com. Questions will be reviewed by League volunteers for clarity, appropriateness, and to avoid duplication. Candidates have been asked not to interrupt one another. The moderator will repeat a question if asked. The candidates are to speak to the audience. I'd like to introduce our moderator for today's event, Lucy Nisi.
Thank you. My name is Lucy Nisi. I'm a sophomore at Prospect High School, and I am an emerging leader for the League. We will now start our candidate forum. We ask that you bear with us and note that technology is what it is, and we are all working to ensure this event runs as smoothly as possible. With me on screen, we have our candidates, our ASL interpreter, Patty Shore-Kane. Please pin her services if you need them, and our timer, League member Courtney Dirksen. I would like to note that the Q&A chat has been disabled for all attendees. So if you would like to submit a question for the candidates, please text this number, 224-306-9521, or email forum.lwvah@gmail.com. We will start this forum with candidate Stein, candidate for the Buffalo Grove trustees. Candidates, please notice the timer. When you see the stop sign, you may finish your sentence. The candidates will be in the following order for 2-minute opening statements. Candidate Stein, candidate Ottenheimer, candidate Magati, candidate Turson, and candidate Johnson. Candidate Stein, please begin your 2-minute opening statement.
I'd like to thank the League of Women Voters for having us here this evening. My name is Andrew Stein, and I'm currently a Buffalo Grove Village trustee. I was first elected in 2011 and have been reelected twice. I provide an independent voice to the village board and am dedicated to serving our village. I'm asking to be reelected so that I can continue serving you. My wife and I moved into our home in 1987. For more than 30 years, we've lived and participated in the community. Our children were born in the community, attended school, and volunteer in the community. My mother even serves on the seniors board of the Buffalo Grove Park District. Our family takes great pride in our involvement in Buffalo Grove. I want to keep making Buffalo Grove better. When I was first elected, I supported business development as a way of saving our residents money on taxes. I proposed bringing Woodman's to Buffalo Grove. I contended that this would spur development of the Milwaukee Avenue corridor, bringing more sales tax to Buffalo Grove, and it has. In 2011, there were no sales tax generating businesses in Buffalo Grove at the Milwaukee and Deerfield corner. Now, through the tremendous efforts of village staff, elected officials, that area has retail, restaurant, and services generated millions of dollars in tax revenue and increasing the assessed value of the property. I supported the development of the plans for the Lake Cook Road corridor, Prairie View, and Dundee Road. We're having success as Lake Cook Road has already seen transformation. Northwest Community Hospital is redeveloping their property. The town center is in the process of redevelopment, and several vacant properties on Dundee Road have plans in the works. There's even more potential for Milwaukee Avenue in the not too distant future. And the BG Delivers website, linking residents to all businesses in Buffalo Grove, will launch on March 17th. I want to be reelected as village trustee to see these plans to fruition. I want to keep Buffalo Grove one of the highest rated suburbs in Illinois and the United States. Buffalo Grove is a great place to live, work, and raise a family. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Candidate Ottenheimer, please begin your 2-minute opening statement.
Thank you very much. I want to thank the League of Women Voters for inviting us tonight to speak. It's a great honor to be here. My name is Les Ottenheimer, and it has been an honor to serve as a village trustee for the village of Buffalo Grove. I've lived in the village for over 35 years, and I've seen our community grow from a sleepy village to a large Chicago suburb. I'm running to represent the village of Buffalo Grove because I want to make sure I finish what I've started. During my term as a village trustee, I've had three major areas that I'd like to focus on: fiscal responsibility, economic development, and transparency and inclusion. With respect to fiscal responsibility, we were able to hold the line on property taxes, and we've done so even this year in spite of the pandemic. If elected, I will continue to hold the line on property taxes. We've attracted new businesses, which have generated in excess of $4.5 million of tax revenues, all as a benefit to the residents. Since I've been a trustee, we've had a balanced budget and we maintain adequate reserves. Adequate reserves is significant in light of the pandemic. And because of the strong fiscal policy of the village and because of its adequate reserves, there will be no interruption of core services to the village residents. No one will see any change whatsoever. In terms of economic development, we're close to the total redevelopment of Town Center, which will be a shopping center of which Buffalo Grove can be proud of, and which will attract regional people. Dundee Corridor is another area that's on my radar. We have many vacant car dealerships there, and we have a plan that may come to fruition very soon to fill those car dealerships. And we've implemented a $175 million infrastructure modernization program at no cost to taxpayers no cost to taxpayers. In terms of inclusion, we have many things that the village has done, including the newsletter. Thank you, I appreciate it, and I'd like to continue to serve the village of Buffalo Grove.
Thank you very much. Candidate Magati, please begin your 2-minute opening statement. Candidate, I believe you're muted right now. So if you could unmute and we'll start your time over again.
Okay, I'm sorry. Thank you for the League of Women Voters for hosting this event. My name is Gauri Magati. I have been living in Buffalo Grove over 16 years with my husband and 2 boys. My family enjoyed every aspect of Buffalo Grove, including schools, parks, baseball facilities, and basketball courts. My kids extensively used BGRDA facilities throughout their childhood. Even though my kids are out of Stevenson, my family decided to continue to live in Buffalo Grove, bearing the tax burden that we all face because we love this place. I'm running as a trustee to bring fresh new ideas that needed in the Buffalo Grove that needed to address the Buffalo Grove issues. As a trustee, my focused issues are smart business development, smart road development, and finally cut the red tape in the government. As far as my background goes, I'm an information technology professional. I have worked for Fortune 500 companies like Walgreens and Johnson Controls, and I help solving their complex problems using my project management skills, project budgeting, and vendor negotiation, and evaluating process, delivering projects on time and on budget. As a trustee, I would like to bring my project management experience and problem solving experience to solve our community critical issues effectively. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Candidate Turson, will you please begin your 2-minute opening statement?
Thank you very much. And thank you to the League of Women Voters for hosting tonight as well. I'm Mike Turson. You can read about my vast life experience on my website at miketurson.com. One of the things that makes me a unique candidate in this election is that I am the only one who has both the experience of already having been a trustee, but is also not an incumbent currently running for re-election. As valuable as that time on the board was, getting that experience, in a lot of ways, I think it's that time away from that role and reflecting on that experience that has made me more qualified to do the job again. It was during that time away that I took the opportunity to engage hundreds of community members in conversation, which motivated me to run for village president 2 years ago and to continue to try to bring the kind of leadership that I spoke about then to our community. If elected, I plan on regularly engaging the people I represent in their neighborhoods, bringing those conversations to them where they want to have them, whether it be at a restaurant over coffee, at a park, on social media, or at their home. I plan on being the most accessible elected official this community has ever had. I think we have a lot of talented people serving our community, and I am excited at the possible opportunity of working with any one of these candidates, as well as the other members of the village board. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Candidate Johnson, please begin your 2-minute opening statement.
Well, first, let me join my fellow candidates in thanking the League of Women Voters for hosting us tonight and allowing us to share our views with the voters. So, why should you want to re-elect Joanne Johnson to the village board? Well, I've been a community servant in Buffalo Grove for 30 years. I started small, volunteering as a room mom and working up to several positions on my PTO board. But my work wasn't confined to schools. I volunteered at other local charities, and eventually I found my way to the village. I joined the Buffalo Grove Days Committee, and that was a lot of fun. And eventually I was appointed to the Planning and Zoning Commission, where I served for 5 years before joining the village board, where I have been a trustee for 6 years. During the last 5 years, while I've been on the board, our sales tax revenue has jumped 20%, according to the Illinois Department of Revenue. And I want to just quickly compare that to our neighbors. Arlington Heights has been stagnant in the last 5 years. Schaumburg is stagnant. Palatine is down 7%. Wheeling is down 9%. And Lincolnshire is down a whopping 23%. They're all stagnant or declining, while Buffalo Grove's revenue is increasing. This is just one rock solid reason why I seek another term. Our economic development is working. Now, my fellow board members can attest to the fact that I am probably the chattiest board member, but that's because I believe the residents deserve to know why I am voting the way I am. Before any controversial, divisive, or difficult vote, I always explain why I'm voting the way I am. You may not always agree with me, but at least you know why I've decided to vote the way I have, why I've made the decision I've made. It's the way I work, and I feel that I owe it to the voters. Thank you for having me tonight.
Thank you so much. Now we are going to move into the Q&A portion of tonight's event. We'll be keeping the same order for the candidates, but rotating through the candidate that will start first. So I would like to remind our audience to send their questions to 224-306-9521 or email them to forum.lwvah@gmail.com. Now we're going to move to our first question, which will be answered by candidate Ottenheimer, and he will have 1 minute to answer. What is your opinion of the village's 2018 Lake Cook Corridor Plan beyond Stage 1, the redevelopment of the town center?
I am absolutely thrilled that the village commissioned the Lake Cook Roads corridor study, because I think that is an avenue to make the village even greater than it already is. There's been a lot of controversy over the years as to what to do with Lake Cook Road. Should we build on the golf course? Should we not build on the golf course? I don't think we should build on a golf course because it's a floodplain. But notwithstanding, I believe, and the other thing that impressed me about the Lake Cook Road corridor study was the fact that we included a lot of residents. We had public hearings, got their input. They gave us some great ideas. So in terms of moving on beyond Stage 1 and Stage 2 and even to Stage 3, I am very excited. I think it is a doable plan. It is a workable plan and something that the village will be proud of. It will spur more economic development, and I would like to be part of the team that helps that continue. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Candidate Magati, you're up next.
Can you repeat the question?
Yes, I can. What is your opinion of the village's 2018 Lake Cook Corridor Plan beyond Stage 1, the redevelopment of the town center?
I certainly like that and support that, but I'm really concerned that still in planning, we've been talking about it and planning. I would like to first look into why the existing businesses are leaving the town. What is the reason? In my research and when I talk to the current businesses, I have found that three main reasons that businesses leaving our community. Number one is high rents comparing to the neighboring cities. Number two is there are no incentives to the business from the government. Number three is government has more regulations for businesses. We have to really work on these three issues and make sure we have to have existing business stay back in the community, and that is the main thing currently we have to work on. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We'll be moving to candidate Turson, who has asked me to repeat the question. I'll do that one more time.
No, you repeated it for her, so we're good.
Awesome.
Interestingly enough, this topic came up 2 years ago in the village president election and trustee election 2 years ago. And not a lot has really happened with the Lake Cook corridor, even since that election. I don't disagree with the plan entirely. I just think it's, one, it's moving at a snail's pace and it's going to continue to do that. And two, reason being, it's, we're focusing on the wrong thing. It's backwards. Dealing with the town center and these other smaller properties is not the game changer. The golf course is the game changer. And if we develop the golf course and create a dining and entertainment district, a mixed use downtown, that will spark redevelopment in the region. I know there's talk of town center being redeveloped. but there's no project right now. It's not happening. So hopefully it will happen, but I think the plan is backwards.
Thank you. Next up, candidate Johnson.
I happen to really like the plan, the Lake Cook Corridor plan. I'm going to agree with Trustee Ottenheimer when he said that he enjoyed it because it had resident input. But I think we further have enhanced our plan by adding a TIF district to it. So first you have your plan, and then we've incentivized it by adding a TIF district to it to attract developers to it. So we have an attractive plan. We've financially incentivized it by adding the TIF district to it. And it takes time for things to happen and for businesses to come around, especially in a pandemic. I actually like what candidate Magati is saying, that we're a high rent district, because if we're a high rent district, that means we're in a desirable district. So I'm happy to hear that she's been hearing that from businesses. So I think we're on the right path. I think we're moving in the right direction. And thank you for letting me answer that question.
Thank you. Next up, candidate Stein.
Thank you. I want to say that for the Lake Cook Corridor plan, we did something right. We actually researched what the demographics say would go right on the Lake Cook Road corridor. And that's what we're building towards. And that's what we're planning for. We're not looking for somebody to come in and tell us what they want to do. We know what goes there. So in terms of building beyond phase one, I am looking forward to it. Part of phase two, I suppose, is already under construction. When you look at the Northwest Community Building being done, when we look at, I think it's Ricky Rockets coming in on Lake Cook Road. When we look at everything that's starting to be redeveloped as part of a comprehensive plan, we have a lot to look forward to in the future besides just redeveloping town center.
Thank you so much. We'll be moving to our second question, which is, what qualities do you bring to the board that other candidates may not? We'll be starting this question with candidate Magati.
Yeah. As I mentioned earlier, my experience is in information technology. I have a project management skill set, and I'm very good in budget funding and funding the budget, and I'm good in negotiating with the vendors. I'm very good in evaluating the process and delivering the projects on time, on budget. So those are my skill set and my forte. I would like to bring that experience and whatever I did with the companies like Walgreens and Johnson Controls. I would like to help the same thing and bring the same experience to the board to solve community problems with my experience and my problem solving skill set.
Thank you. To answer this question, candidate Turson.
Thank you. First, I just want to kind of comment a little bit on the last question real quickly. You know, when Trustee Stein says we know what goes there, that's exactly the problem that made Town Center fail the first time, is elected officials trying to micromanage projects that developers want to do, and it doesn't work. You know, I think my skill set is generating revenue. I've had a career in sales. I created the corporate sponsorship program at the Park District 15 years ago. It has generated over $750,000 in revenue, money that benefits businesses in our community, and money that comes right back to the community to get them exposure. And communication skills and working in local government as a career. I think I bring a skill set that serves this role very well.
Next to answer the question, we'll have candidate Johnson.
Thank you. I'd like to speak to my work ethic and the way I function on the dais. I feel that I fully prepare for every meeting by reading all of the materials, doing my research, and asking relevant questions. I know that I'm vocal on the board. I always state my position, as I said earlier, before any difficult vote. I know that the voice in the room at board meetings often isn't the louder voice in the community. So I like to get out there and talk to my constituents. I like people to know the reason I'm voting and the way I'm voting. And I think the voters should look at my 6-year record on the board, and I think they'll find that I'm a straight shooter. They'll find that I'm honest, and I believe that my record speaks to that. I'm a tireless worker. I think I'm an excellent communicator and a collaborator. I'm a tenacious advocate when I believe in something. I came up through the volunteer ranks of Buffalo Grove. I've been a volunteer for the village for 20 years, and I've been volunteering in the village for 30. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, we have candidate Stein.
Thank you. Throughout my tenure as a volunteer and as a trustee, I've been pretty active in the community, whether it's through scouting or through the school district. So I come in contact with a lot of people, and I'm able to learn a lot from talking with them about how they think the village is working. As a professional, I'm a compliance officer. I spend a lot of time researching facts before I go out to visit the people that I'm a compliance principal for. And on the village board, I spend a lot of time before a village meeting asking a lot of questions. Sometimes the questions get uncomfortable, but that's the only way for me to be able to dig to what the real answer is. You know, a couple of years ago, we were looking at a charitable foundation, and it just didn't seem right to me. And as a result, eventually the village wound up choosing to create its own charitable foundation. So those are some of the things that make me different.
Thank you. Last for this question, candidate Ottenheimer.
Thank you very much. I believe I have the experience, the leadership, the honesty, the integrity to continue to be a leader for the village of Buffalo Grove. And these are characteristics not only as a member of the board, but this is how I function through my life and in my job. I am able to form compromise when need be. I am the type of individual that will listen to all of the facts, listen to every side, and then make a decision. I pride myself in dedicating myself to public service, which I have done for most of my life in Buffalo Grove, having started out on Buffalo Grove Days Committee, then was elevated to the Plan Commission, and ultimately for 10 years was chairman of the Plan Commission, which gives me a great knowledge and understanding of the village's planning process, where it needs to go, where the mistakes were made, and what we're going to do in the future. And for those reasons, I believe should be re-elected. Thank you.
Thank you. For our third question, which is, now that the Rohrman automobile dealership site has been donated to Purdue University, what would you do to encourage the new owners to improve the sites? We'll begin with candidate Turson.
Well, interestingly enough, that site, there's a lot of different things that can happen there. And I know that one of the things that developers love to do with sites like that is build homes because there's a lot of revenue potential for them in that kind of development. However, that's Dundee Road. It's a major corridor in the village. It's a commercial district. Those car dealerships generated, upwards close to $1 million a year in sales tax revenue back when they were car dealerships. So I think it needs to, if not stay entirely commercial, maybe a combination of commercial and recreational, but I would not like to see homes built on that property. I would like to see it remain something that will generate sales tax revenue for the community.
Thank you. Candidate Johnson.
Well, now that the properties are owned by the Purdue Foundation, we at least have a motivated seller versus when they were owned by the Rohrman Corporation. So I'm hoping that we will have activity there sooner than later. I believe that the best use there will be a mixed use. It will be a combination probably of some housing and some commercial properties. So that would probably be nice because we do have some housing to the rear of the property. But then we also face Dundee Road. And I think we do need to generate some revenue off of that frontage there on Dundee Road. And I don't think our residents expect us to put housing right on Dundee Road, nor would anyone want to live on Dundee Road necessarily right there. So I think the best use is going to be mixed use.
Thank you. Candidate Stein.
Thank you. I would encourage the Purdue University Foundation to move the property as quickly as possible. I do know that they own some other properties in the northwest suburbs, and sitting on the property doesn't help them. They need the cash flow as well. So I would encourage them to market it for what it was. Car dealerships, whether it is a new car dealership from an existing dealership, or whether it's a mega high-end used car dealership, I would like to see that for the majority of the property. I would like to see retail, as the Dundee Road really is a retail area. Maybe some service, but it's got to be moved quickly, and I believe they want it out of their portfolio as quickly as possible. Thank you.
Thank you. Candidate Ottenheimer.
Please repeat the question one more time.
Of course.
Thank you.
Now that the Rorman Automobile dealership site has been donated to Purdue University, what would you do to encourage the new owners to improve the sites?
Thank you. I'm a firm believer in tax incentives. If we can give some tax incentives to businesses to entice them to locate or relocate or in Buffalo Grove, I think that's to everyone's advantage. Everyone knows that business attracts business. I mean, a prime example of that is the car dealerships that are all lined up against one another. The logical thing might be to say, how are they going to compete with another? But they do, and business brings business. In addition to giving tax incentives, I believe that we should develop that property with substantially tax generating revenue. Mixed use is okay. I'm not convinced that mixed use is the proper place on Dundee Road. So for those reasons, I believe that I would provide tax incentives, and I would hope that we would be able to encourage developers to come in and to build tax generating projects and businesses. Thank you.
Thank you. Candidate Magati.
Yes. I would like to bring businesses back, since it's a prime location. I would like to have businesses and not for mixed use. Business will generate more sale tax revenue. So we have to work on how to bring the businesses back, and like like candidate Ottenheimer said, we have to give some tax incentives and make sure businesses are coming back and get more revenue to the village and revitalize the place. And if we need to rebuild the place to accommodate to the businesses, not businesses that can have more up-to-date place. If we need to do it, we have to do it, and we have to make sure businesses are coming back to the village. That's what I would like to do. Thank you.
Thank you. Here is our fourth question. What is your stance on pension plans versus 401k retirement plans for all municipal employees, since it appears the current pension plans around the state are not solvent without massive tax increases in the future? We'll start this question with candidate Johnson.
Well, it's ironic that you asked me this question first, because I have been down to Springfield and have been working on pension reform very seriously. And what we call pension reform in the state of Illinois is actually somewhat failed, as it's now costing us hundreds of thousands of dollars a year in additional costs. I don't think we'd ever see in the state of Illinois the movement from a pension system to a 401k system, because the unions just wouldn't agree to doing it. So the very question that you've posed isn't even practical. Whether I, as an elected official, would want this or desire this would not even happen. I think our pension systems could be reformed. They're very costly, but it's just not going to happen with the way our state legislature is structured today.
Thank you. Candidate Stein.
Thank you. I agree with Trustee Johnson. The pensions in Illinois are a statewide issue that have become where they are because of probably mismanagement in the state. The Village of Buffalo Grove has been very good at funding its pensions. We have no issue when it comes to the rating agencies when they look at the way we funded our pensions. I think one of the things that they need to take a look at is people who are earning multiple pensions in the same category from the same, people who earn the pension fully by working in one municipality, then going to another and starting another pension. I believe it should be a continuation of the same pension. But I don't know that a 401k, like Trustee Johnson said, would fly instead of a pension in light of all the unions that we'd be dealing with. So thank you.
Thank you. Candidate Ottenheimer.
Thank you. The state has failed us. The system has failed us. I mean, you ask anybody from any other state outside Illinois, and one of the things that they will talk about is our vastly underfunded and mismanaged pension system. In terms of 401k, I agree with candidate Johnson. 401k will, in my lifetime, I don't think will ever be an option for the state of Illinois. But what we need to do is we need to roll up our sleeves. We need to put pressure on legislators to make sure that they do the right thing. We need to cut the spending at the right places. And quite frankly, if the state followed the model that Buffalo Grove has followed, I think the state would be in much, much better financial shape, and we would not be talking about our pension issues at this time. Thank you.
Thank you. Candidate Magati.
Pensions is an important and essential for frontline workers. Unfortunately, we cannot do it. We cannot change it. But any reforms to the pensions is we have to work on it, and it's a statewide issue. So, as per my understanding, we have to really work with the state, and I'm really looking for reforms, not to completely change the system, how the pensions are right now. So I would like to go for reforming the pension system. Thank you.
Thank you. Candidate Turson.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm a little surprised at the question because I didn't think that we could beat this dead horse any more than we have in the past few years. But Joanne Johnson is 100% right in what she said. And the Illinois Supreme Court has ruled on this. It is what it is. And the fact of the matter is that kind of what Mr. Ottenheimer was alluding to is that the Illinois General Assembly and former governors who have gone to prison have raided pension funds, not funded them on top of it. That's what the real issue is and what the real problem is. Moving forward, though, as far as our community's obligation to fund pensions, we have no control over that. We just don't.
Thank you. Our fifth question is, do you think communication between the community and the board is adequate? And if not, how would you improve it? We'll start this question with candidate Stein.
Sorry about that. It can always be better. Communication between the community and the board can always be better. And that's why we're currently working out with citizen engagement. We're working on improving our website. We're working on gathering information. We're working on surveys, the Citizens Academy, to try to gather from the residents information. I don't like it when I have to go to a website called Everything Buffalo Grove in order to find out what our community's thinking. You know, it should be something that we are driving in our village. It is something, though, that we are working for and working towards improving and making better. And, you know, just last night, we were talking about that at our village board meeting. So I am looking forward to improved communications between our residents and ourselves in the near future. Thank you.
Thank you. Candidate Ottenheimer.
Thank you very much. You know, communication is a two-way street. And in order to have effective communication, it has to be a two-way street, both from the board to the community and the community to the board. During my tenure as trustee, I think that, and as I said, one of my big planks is transparency. And I think we have significantly improved that in my tenure. As candidate Stein has said, we've got the Citizens Academy, we've got the Community Engagement Project, which purpose is to allow residents to try to get them to be engaged in our community, to be engaged in projects. The other thing is that the Buffalo Grove board made it an absolute priority that all residents be given an opportunity to speak and be heard regarding major projects and developments in the village of Buffalo Grove. This is key, and they appreciate it. They've given us great ideas. And if I'm reelected, I will continue to push for transparency and honest and open two-way communication. Thank you.
Thank you. Candidate Magati.
Communication is really important between the board and the board and residents. It's essential. Whatever we are doing right now, I don't think it's enough. We have to get better at it. There are communication through website, but that's not enough. That's not really, that's not even good for some folks who are not technical savvy. So reaching out to the residents through many ways, talking to sending them letters and having conversations with them, and having conversations before having any plans in the projects. Those are missing right now. So whatever we have right now, if we are good at it, we have to make it better. So communication is really essential between the board and the residents. That's what I strongly believe. Thank you.
Thank you. Candidate Turson.
Honestly, when it comes to communications, I give the village of Buffalo Grove an A+. I think that the village has knocked that out of the park. I think they have many avenues and platforms to communicate all sorts of information to the community. Where we have failed, and I realized this after being on the board, is we failed as elected officials, making ourselves accessible to the community where they want to communicate with us. You know, Mr. Stein says that, you know, he doesn't like going on Everything Buffalo Grove. I don't blame him. It's a mean place sometimes. But the fact of the matter is, those are the places that the community wants to communicate with us. And so we have to make ourselves accessible to the community where they want us to be accessible. And that's what I will do as an elected official in this community.
Thank you. Candidate Johnson.
Thank you. Well, we've had Trustee Stein and Trustee Onheimer refer to our Community Engagement Committee, and I am on that committee. And what we're trying to do is to engage people in the community, more people in the community, and people that are more representative of our demographics, and to get them more involved. And one small piece of it is we're trying to gather people who are community champions, people that are involved in the community in various groups, whether they are room moms or band dads. And we were talking about this at last night's meeting, and right during the meeting, I received an email from a woman who said, Trustee Johnson, I've been looking for a way to get involved with the village, and this Community Champions program sounds perfect. This is the type of way we're trying to engage and trying to get people more involved. So we may not be perfect, but we're working to get there. Thank you.
Thank you. We are now going to move into our closing statements. You will have 2 minutes for your closing statement. The candidates will be in the following order for the closing statements: Candidate Johnson, Candidate Turson, Candidate Magati, Candidate Ottenheimer, Candidate Stein. Reverse order. Candidate Johnson, you may now begin your 2-minute closing statement.
Thank you. In closing, I'd like to once again thank the League of Women Voters for hosting the candidates tonight. I hope I have earned your vote for several reasons. To be blunt, things are going well in Buffalo Grove right now. Our operating reserves have nearly doubled in the last 10 years. Sales tax revenue is up 20% in the last 5 years and 70% in the last 10 years. We were able to implement a $145 million infrastructure modernization plan that will improve our village's streets, water, and sewer lines with no impact on property taxes. No more kicking the can down the road. We have a balanced budget and a AAA bond rating. We have accomplished a great deal and plan to do so much more. So why re-elect Joanne Johnson? I have experience on the board at a time when we have been able to broaden the revenue base and have established plans for an even greater economic development. When I approach an issue, I thoroughly research it. I talk to the community, to staff, and to my fellow trustees. I believe that I am a tireless worker and a tenacious advocate for issues I believe in. I advocate for responsible fiscal management that will keep taxes low, like we did this year with no tax hike. My background is in communications, and I feel that this is my greatest skill. Buffalo Grove voters always know why I vote the way I do. So for more information on my platform, please visit my website, reelectjoanne.com. Thank you for having me tonight.
Thank you. Candidate Turson.
Thank you. You know, the role of a village trustee, it really isn't about balancing budgets or taking credit for other things that the village manager and his staff do. It's not about disingenuously taking credit for bringing a business like Woodman's to Buffalo Grove, when in reality, they sought out their Buffalo Grove location. They came to us. It's not about politicizing property tax levies. That's a slippery slope because it implies that when taxes are increased, someone failed at their job. And that's simply not the case. Wages are negotiated through collective bargaining, pension obligations, all of those other costs to run a community are what they are. If our revenues fall short, it's not because elected officials did or didn't do something that you're very different. It's because costs go up, and in a town like ours, what people often refer to as a bedroom community, a lack of significant economic development limits those revenue streams and relies heavily on property tax. No, this role is about setting forward-thinking policy and making logical decisions that benefit the people in the community. Like when a business such as Culver's comes to the village, wanting to put a sign on private property on Buffalo Grove Road, it's looking for ways like that to support the community, to be business friendly, rather than looking for ways to tell people no. If you elect me, that's what you'll get. Honesty, logical decision-making, solid leadership, and a long-term plan to significantly increase economic development, to lower property taxes long-term, not just year to year. You can get information on me on my website at miketurson.com. And thank you to the League of Women Voters again for hosting this. Have a great night, everyone.
Thank you so much. Candidate Magati.
Thank you everyone for joining us today, and thanks for the League of Women Voters to host this event. My name is Gauri Magati, and I'm running for trustee candidate for Village of Buffalo Grove Board. I'll bring my fresh new ideas needed for the Buffalo Grove. We have seen and experienced the same issues like Mrs. Johnson said, our rents are very desirable, then I'm not sure why our businesses are leaving our community. And she said, we are having 20% of more sale tax comparing to what, 0%? That's not enough. We have to have more sale tax revenue, and we are seeing the same issues over and over again without any improvements, while our neighboring cities are having, they are surpassed us. They are attracting their residents to spend, they're attracting our residents, spend our money in their business districts, and end up they are reducing their residents' taxes. We need a leader who can get things done, not just sit on it forever and just talking about it. With my experience and my corporate world experience, where there are no incentives and less tolerance for being late on the projects, I have learned fresh new ways and ideas are needed to solve the complex problems. I'll bring that corporate experience to solve our problems in our community. And again, I would like to ask for your support and vote. Please reach out me via social media, and you can email me or you can phone me or for any questions. Hope I can secure your vote on April 6th. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Candidate Ottenheimer.
Thank you very much. Again, I want to thank the League of Women Voters for the opportunity to speak today. I truly believe that an informed electorate is the best electorate, and it has been an honor and privilege to serve on the board of Buffalo Grove for the past number of years. You know, I have a philosophy that municipal governments impact our constituents far more frequently and more positively than either state or federal governments. Residents have far more influence at the local level than they ever will at the state or federal level. And municipal leaders, such as myself, will work with those that are close to the government. As I said, I have focused my terms in office on three areas: economic development, fiscal responsibility, and transparency and inclusion. I'm not going to repeat a lot of what was said before, but I will tell you that the Lake Cook Road corridor is the bridge to the future of Buffalo Grove. That is, I believe, critical, and it needs strong and experienced leaders to see that project through fruition, and I am one of those leaders. In terms of fiscal responsibility, you have all heard that during my term as trustee, we have kept property taxes low. I plan to keep property taxes low. We've also generated in excess of $4.5 million recently in order to increase the quality of life and ease the burden on the taxpayers. Lastly, transparency and inclusion. That is no secret. The village has done, and I appreciate Mr. Thurston telling us that we've done a great job. However, with respect to property taxes, it is the absolute right, and it's the absolute job of a trustee to maintain and keep low property taxes. That is a huge, huge plank and something that we must continue to do. I have built a reputation as a strong leader, working hard to strengthen the village's economy, deliver a balanced budget, and maintain adequate reserves and address community needs. With your support, I will continue down this path and continue to make Buffalo Grove a thriving community. And for more information, you can visit my website, voteforless.com. Thank you. I appreciate your vote on April 6th. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Candidate Stein. Thank you, all of our candidates. Most importantly, thank you to our audience for attending this candidate forum. I'm going to hand it back to our MC, Maya, now.
Do I get a closing statement?
I'm sorry. I am so sorry. I have my list wrong. My sincere apologies, Candidate Stein.
Thank you. And I would like to thank you for, again, this evening. The Village of Buffalo Grove is better and stronger today than it was when I was first elected. We're no longer reactive, we're proactive. We make plans, we follow the plans, making necessary adjustments along the way. We're in the middle of our greatest infrastructure modernization program ever, modernizing streets, water, and sewers. We're more business friendly, streamlining our processes. BG delivers an internet-based service linking our residents to all of Buffalo Grove businesses is set to launch on March 17th. The village is more transparent than ever. More meetings are televised than before. We also include residents in the planning process. For almost 10 years, I have proudly served as a village trustee. I've worked cohesively with the village board, staff, and volunteers to keep Buffalo Grove moving in a forward direction. With positive thinking, we've been able to proactively develop plans to bring new businesses to Buffalo Grove. We've maintained a balanced budget and a AAA bond rating. During the COVID-19 pandemic, we have continued to maintain our services without raising taxes. Our village has so many positive things happening that I would like to see through to fruition. If reelected, I promise to keep Buffalo Grove moving forward. Starting March 22nd and on April 6th, please vote to keep Buffalo Grove moving forward. Please vote for Andrew Stein for village trustee. Together, we can keep Buffalo Grove one of the best places to live, work, and raise a family. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And once again, my sincerest apologies for my mistake. Thanks for understanding. I am now going to return our program tonight to our MC Maya.
Thank you to Ms. Nisi for being our moderator. Thanks to the Deerfield League and Trustee Weidenfeld for helping to pay for our ASL interpreter. Please make sure to register to vote, make your plan to vote, and then make sure your voice is counted this election day. Need help? League of Women Voters Arlington Heights, Mount Prospect, Buffalo Grove is here to help. Check out our website at www.LWV-AH.org for voter registration information. Yes, you can register online, mail-in vote information, planning your ballot, as well as your early and day of polling locations. Again, check us out as www.lwvah.org. And follow us on social media at Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We even have accounts specifically for youth at student.lwvah and a mascot at Pause for Votes. And make sure once you're ready to vote, you tell 10 friends where they can find all the information they need to be counted. www.lwvah.org. We are grateful to you all for joining us and to our candidates Stein, Turson, Magati, Johnson, and Ottenheimer. Our democracy relies on citizens willing to run for office. Another thank you to our ASL interpreter, Patty Shore-Caden, and to all of the volunteers of our league who worked tirelessly to bring you this free program. Have a great day.